Hello everyone, my name is AP the Weird One, and welcome back to more Full Metal Panic Fumoffu. A Goddess Comes to Japan, Part 1 and Part 2, or episodes 8 and 9. The first one being Suffering, and the second one being Hot Springs. Tessa has decided to come to annoy Sosuke in a manner of speaking, and it's in a couple parts. The first part, the Suffering, is canon to the light novel, but the second one is original material. Unless they do some extra scene in the third volume of short stories, but I don't own that one. Based off what I've seen, maybe not so much. But yeah, so we have that, and I'm probably gonna be pretty critical of at least the second portion. I've got my concerns, but basically we have the episode. We're starting off. This takes place right after the volume 3 of the light novel, right after the events with dealing with Garon. So it's like the 2 weeks in between, and kind of how this the part 2 ends, and even subsequently the light novel, like it's supposed to like transition over into the second raid or volume 4. I'm surprised that these two last episodes weren't the final episodes, because it definitely kind of feels like it. That being said, having watched these 2 episodes, I'm glad there's more to come. Like there's 3 more episodes, because these aren't, I'll explain what part 2, the hot spring one, when I had my issues with it. But yeah, I've got some returns. So they're going for maintenance. Tessa wants to go to Japan, of course. It's very hinted likely. Marmaduke isn't happy about this, but he's like, you should take some R&R. He suggests that. I'm like, absolutely. And she wants to go there, but he's like against it. Anyway, he comes to knock on Sosuke's door. He's at his school. He introduced the principal. They had their fake story. Sosuke almost clobbers him because he thinks he's a pervert. Then they go around the school. In the light novel, when they get to this scene, it's the local baseball, but here it's a band, and Marmaduke kind of gives him shit for not knowing who these bands are. Like, are you sure you were integrating in society? When they get to decorating the room for Tessa, even he's complaining about it. And then in the light novel, Kamina actually helps with shopping. I kind of wish they had that scene, but it's not the end of the world. I can understand why they wanted to cut it out, but I would have liked that to spend more time. And then, of course, finally, once this is all said and done, it looks very nice. Tessa comes to visit. She's in a very cute outfit. She's surrounded by 2 men. And Sosuke's life is going to become a living hell, because Marmaduke just says, you better not do anything bad with her and like protect her with all your life. And he's already not on good sleep because he had to write a report. He had to do something for school. So he's like already pushing his limits with these commands. And we do get to see Tessa have a little bit of fan service, taking a shower and getting dressed for school. But yeah, they go on to school. And of course, Kamina, who knows who she is, and the banter between these two is on point. Like I love, this is probably the best part of the 2 episodes, is Kamina and Tessa just giving each other hell. Like in this scene in particular, Kamina says like, I'll teach you how to use a Japanese toilet and help a fledgling commander. And Tessa's like, yeah, and if I ever need boy trouble, you'll be the first to know. Like, just on point. The toilet one, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I know Japanese toilets are very weird, but I don't remember that being a scene in America, in the anime or light novels. But hey, whatever, it is what it is. I don't think I've seen what they look like, but even I'm not sure how to use them. I think it just takes a lot of dexterity. But yeah, so yeah, they have a little bit of banter. And then we get to a pool scene. Now, here's where people are probably going to disagree. So, Tessa's wearing a very old school uniform, one that Kurt recommends. In the kind of light novel colored chapters, it's much more blue, and this is supposed to be like a more traditional one, whereas the everybody else has like this orange, like cream color thing outfit. I'm gonna lie, because Tessa doesn't have as big as boobs, and everybody else kind of does have a little bit bigger. I kind of like this outfit a lot more better. I think the orange and like the more cream soda look is way better personally. I don't know, it just works out. With that said, I don't know if this would necessarily work good on Tessa. Now, in the light novel, it seems to be a little bit more scandalous, kind of, because I think it shows a little bit more booty, I believe. And that's why like Kurt recommended, and whereas this is a lot. This doesn't show as much skin, although you get some like nice back shot of the women. I don't know. I think Tessa definitely should have had the more traditional outfit. I think it would have still looked good on her, but I think colors needed to be swapped. I don't know. This looked very boring and just like old. I don't know. I wasn't in love with this outfit. But anyway, she shows off her swimming skills. She thinks they think that she's drowned. Sosuke tries to save her. He's of course panicking and he's not having a lot of sleep. Tessa's like going to give him mouth to mouth, and Kamina's like, no, that's not necessary. He's breathing. I love when these two banter because they're both in love with him. They're both trying their best, and it's so funny. It's so very nice. But we eventually continues. Sosuke eventually just conks out because Mao's supposed to come. She doesn't come. He asked Kamina to help. That doesn't work out. It's an absolute disaster. And essentially, the episode ends where, in the light novel, ends where he just kind of passes out, and Marmaduke and Callahan are talking. Beginning next episode, Sosuke wakes up, accidentally squeezes Tessa's boobs, and then, of course, Kamina wakes up and sees that she's in his bed, and, of course, she's just being a goof. I love this moment, everything, of course. And, of course, there's more stuff with Mao. I liked all this. Kind of like they have a pass through school and everything. It's really cool. I like this moment. However, the majority of the episode is the hot springs, and we only get about a minute fan service, which I'm going to discuss and tell you everything about that. But the rest of the episode is basically the guys, Kurt and the guy who's obsessed with AS, and another kid that I think we've had a little bit of interaction with, very minuscule, try to get access to see the girls be in the hot springs, and it doesn't work out. I wish this episode was dedicated more to Kamina and Tessa. Like, I'm surprised they didn't include Tessa trying to sneak off and try to get romantic with Kamina, with Sosuke, like being a little scantily and everything. I thought she might try something like that, but I'm like, it's just the guys trying to do this. I'm like, oh, it's so boring. Okay, and the animation looks fine. I mean, it looks really good, but I'm like, I don't really care for that. And then the end of the episode is the Toothless Dan getting all ready to go in preparation for the next mission. But yeah, so that's kind of how the episode ends. Also, there's also Sosuke and Kamina making the room back look better, and Kamina does miss her, but I'm like, I wish we had more moments between Kamina and Tessa, like the girls talking about love life and more stuff like this. I don't care the guys are trying to see it. Like, it should have been very minuscule, like funny moments, but not consuming like a big portion of it. Now that being said, let's move on to the fan service, because the fan service is actually pretty good. So we have this shot. There is some jiggle physics, Kamina's boobs do bounce. They're very nice and beautiful. Great shot. I'm surprised they don't uncensor this, but considering what they do in second raid, but hey, whatever it is, they're trying to keep it PG-13. I'm fine with that. This scene, this was a funny moment. So I think at first I thought this was Mizuki. This is Hiyoko. If she had dumped her like twin tails and actually like take off the glasses, she's actually pretty hot looking. Listen, when she grew older, she got married. This woman is a hottie. I'm like, okay, let me make the argument. Trust me, she's very good looking. This is like one of the hottest shots, like probably the hottest shot ever of her. I love this moment with her. Yeah, she's just gorgeous. We do get to see Mizuki and everything. See a little bit of butt shot. They're not as pronounced, like the animation's not as good. It's not as good as some other butt shots in the future I've seen. We do have a Mao shot. Like I said, don't care for Mao because Mao smokes, so no, she's not my waifu. And then like probably the better shots we see Tessa be on the ground, rubber ducky, little fun scene. I kind of like the more seductive when she's got clothes on in the OVA in second raid. I just because I think it's a like goofier, funny moment, but this is still hot. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna go back a little ways. But yeah, so that's essentially the end of the episode. Part 1, I really enjoyed. I just love the banter. Part 2, I wish I wanted more of this. This is what this is what I really love. I like to see the banter. But and I'm not the fan service. Fan service is fine. I wish it was a little bit longer, but hey, we'll take what it is. I kind of wish the butts were a little bit more drawn as well. Just because they probably pack in some good booty. I do want to end the episode with a show off of one artwork from the light novel. I'll make myself a little bit bigger just to kind of show it off. This is a very nice picture. But yeah, this is Tessa kind of like in her swimsuit, like a little bit. Show the picture. It's kind of nice. I like that moment. But with that comes the end. Hopefully you have a wonderful day. I'll catch you guys next time for episode 10. We have a fancy without honor or humanity. I am actually looking forward to this episode. I think I'm probably going to do this right away. Just at least watch the episode while everything is getting uploaded. This looks like a fun one. 11 I might have some trouble with. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, hopefully you guys see you guys on Thursday. Like, comment, subscribe, and hype if you can. Take care.